Welcome to 2020 Radical Gold Diggers Gold Table Talk. We are about to talk about goals, goals, goals. One of our Radical Gold Diggers seniors announced last year a major goal that she was going to encounter. So today we have Mrs. Good, which is also my mother, who's going to tell us what the goal was that was so outstanding. So, Mrs. Good and Mother, can you please explain what your goal was that started on last year during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, it all started with a group that was called Be a Bridge. Now, Be a Bridge is a group that tries to integrate relationships with different churches. So my church, which is Flat Rock, got together with a white church, which is called Grace Church, here, all in the same community. And we became a group that talked about race relationships. And
Okay.
out of the group, we all came away with a project that we could do to help foster better relationships, meaning that we could get together to meet other groups of people and they would get to know us. And I decided that I would do a group that we could get together, a small group, and work together in doing a craft. And the craft was making mats for the homeless. Now, it is a great project because everybody can get involved and you don't have to come to a place, but you can do it at home and send your work to the people who are working on it. Making mats out of grocery bags, the plastic bags, people can cut them, then you tie them together, and then other groups of people can crochet the mats, and we put the mats together.
Well, let me ask you this, Mrs. Good. Why did you decide to make mats for the homeless? Why was this your project of choice? Why was this goal so important to you?
Well, it came about through conversation. One of the people in the group worked with homeless people, homeless shelters. And he was talking about making mats. And I told him that I knew how to do it. And that's how it went about. Once I told him I knew how to do it, then I got together with one of the other women from Grace, and we started the group.
Okay, now let me ask you something. Was this group birthed out of the George Floyd or out of the conflict that we were incurring in the height of the 2020 pandemic? Or did this start before?
Well, the group started in January. I would say that my church pastor and the pastor from Grace's church are friends, and they've been talking about having church services together, and we
Nice.
have done that. We had planned a trip to the Black History Museum in Alabama, and it got canceled because of the pandemic. But doing things together so that we can foster better relationships. So when this idea of Be a Bridge came about, my pastor asked me to be a part of it. And we met for 9 weeks. We studied a book called Be a Bridge, and we followed the book platform. Then after the 9 weeks, people came away with different things that they would do. Now, everybody's uh, uh, ideas or how they would form other groups to build better relationships with different types of people were different. Because I'm a crafter, that's why when he suggested doing the mats became ideal for me. And the idea of doing the mats, it could involve so many people that didn't have to be together to do the mats. But
Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that the bridge project was already in motion between the white church, meaning the parishioners were they were white, and the black church, which is your church, which is predominantly black, and the pastors, being friends, wanted to I guess have more relationships and what they call fellowshipping together. And you guys started this bridge, which happened to really be around a book called The Bridge. Am I hearing?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a book, and a woman wrote the book because she felt like the most segregated time that people have is Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock. So she wrote about how people could get together. And we studied the book for 9 weeks.
Was
and
she a black lady or a white lady?
She was a black lady.
Okay. Okay. So we have to get that author's name. Very good.
And she wrote the book, and we followed the book for the 9 weeks. And then once you finished your program for 9 weeks, you needed to come up with something that you would feel could foster better relationships with other people. So that's how it all came about.
Well, Mrs. Good, you're 84 years old and someone that have seen quite a bit. Can you say some of the positive things that came out of this bridge project that can inspire other churches to do more fellowshipping as your church did? What was the win for you guys?
Well, the win, I would say for me, I got to know the people at Grace. We have a roster of about 18 people who come to the group, and we meet at my church, which is Flat Rock. And we meet every Wednesday, and we get to know each other as we work on the mats. So it was a great way to build relationships, because once you get to know someone, it sort of breaks down all your misgivings about people that you don't know. So we've gotten to know each other very well, because we've been meeting now for almost 6 months, and we
Very nice. So break down those stereotypes and get away from looking at color and looking at the souls inside of those bodies. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful project that seemed to go over quite well. And now I want to talk more about the mat project. Can you tell me when you started, how long it took, and how many mats were created between the Grace Church and your church together? How many mats did you produce for the homeless?
Well, so far, well, let me say this. It was a cooperation between both churches. First of all, we had to collect all the bags, and I want to talk about that because collecting the bags was very important, because it helps with recycling. And because people would say, well, why don't you go out and just buy some bags or get new bags? No, we wanted to recycle.
Can
So
you describe the bags that you needed? Can you describe?
well, it's like a Kroger bag, a
Okay,
Publix bag,
plastic bags.
a plastic bag.
Okay.
And then once we got the bags, then we needed people to cut them into the strips and then to string them so that we can crochet them. Now, anybody can do this project. It's on YouTube. All you have to put in is homeless mats for the homeless, and
Okay.
the YouTubes will come up. Now, one of the great things I think about the project is there are people that can contribute to the group without without coming to the group. We have a woman who is an invalid. She's in a wheelchair, and
Wow.
she crochets and sends her mat.
That's
So
wonderful.
we have never seen her. We have another group of women who lives in a community that cuts the bags and then they send them. So it is something that everybody can be a part of. And the group itself, we have gotten to know each other. You know, there's one lady who brings her teenage kids. We've gotten our YPD group involved in collecting bags.
And that's
So,
your young people's group, right? The YPD?
yeah. So it can involve everybody in the church as a project that is a community project. So far, we have done 42 mats. Now, let me just say this to you. It takes 500 to 700 bags to make one mat.
Wow.
The mats are like 2 feet long by 6 feet long, and long enough for someone to put on the ground and lay down, and then they can roll it back up and carry it wherever they're going. So I would say the project is such an inspiring project that everybody wants to be a part of it. So people will bring their bags, and at Grace, they have a big barrel outside. They put their bags in it. Over at our church, we have a garbage can so that people can just bring their bags and put them in the can. And on Wednesdays, when we come there, we take them out and start to work on them. So I would just say it's a great project that any church could do. And even if you didn't want to do it to foster a relationship with another church, it's such a needed project that the homeless can use when they're out and about. Also, in our mats, we were donated. You know, God blesses us in so many ways. In each rolled up mat, we have put underwear, socks, a toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, and handy wipes.
Wow.
So this gets rolled up in the mat. So when the person gets the mat, they can clean up a little bit with this little package that we put in. And so I'm very grateful for that. And it just makes you feel good when you can do something for somebody else.
Well, I just wanted to congratulate you and the team that came together. And how long did it take for you guys to make all those mats and get the mats? And was it a year?
No. We started in January with the group.
Okay.
Some people had to learn how to crochet, which I taught, and people had to learn how to cut the bags and string the bags. So the first 6 months was a learning process. Now that we have become professionals at it, we can move along a little faster. Uh, some it's very hard to say how long it takes to make one mat. I mean, if you can crochet and you have your plastic bags all strung, you probably can do it in about a week. But if you have to cut your own bags and string your own bags and then crochet them, it might take you a little bit longer.
Okay, okay. Well, I see that God has used your gifts and talents in such a way that not only did the homeless get served through your gifts and talent, so did the churches. So it just sounds so wonderful. Now, if others want to make mats for the homeless, you stated that they can go on YouTube, which is great. Do you have another project coming up that may need funding or others can donate to help a cause like the homeless? Do you have anything else on the horizon that you would need funding for?
No, truthfully, I think the beauty of a project like this or any ones that we might come up with, it's when you're doing something, let's say to service others, you'd be surprised. People just donate to you. So, we've been very blessed. I mean, we got a donation of underwear for men. We got a donation for socks. Our little missionary gave us some money and we bought the toothpaste. But the stores would even donate. So I would just say that, people like to get, I always say this and I've said it to you, people like to get on a moving train. So if you're doing something that's worthwhile, people want to be a part of it.
Amen.
And contribute to you. I don't have anything in mind at this present moment.
Okay.
But if God would lead me to do another project, I would be just grateful that He is using me to others.
I'm glad He is using you too. So your church is Flat Rock AME in Fayetteville, where the pastor is Reverend Edward Johnson, who is also the mayor of Fayetteville. And that is a very outstanding church that you belong to. And being a part of the missionaries there, you did a project with Haiti with making dresses, or I believe it was dresses out of pillowcases. So
yes,
creative. And maybe you'll just take a minute to talk about that project.
Well, that project was a church project. It came out of the conference, AME conference, where they wanted to send clothes to countries that children were in need of clothes. And so making dresses out of pillowcases is a very creative way of making a very cute dress. So yes, we've made dresses and we've sent them to Haiti. We've also made pants and sent them to Haiti. That wasn't a project that was involving, let's say, community churches. It was just involved in the AME.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to highlight your skill set of how you will be very resourceful and reusing things that we may not think about that can be turned into something that is so needed for someone else. And just like a child's outfit, there's so much that we take for granted. So, Mrs. Good, I just want to thank you for your time and certainly thank you for your talent. And do you have any other closing remarks before we go?
No, I would just say that anytime you're doing something for someone else, it's a certain amount of gratification that you received. You know, the more you give, the more you get.
Amen. And it is better to give than to receive. And I see the Lord has certainly blessed you with that pearls of wisdom, and you have taken that wisdom and have shined it in such a way that others have gotten on board and have gotten motivated to do the same. So thank you so much for your inspiration. Thank you for being a radical gold digger at your age that is still inspiring others that they too can have a selfless goal to help someone else and be of service in a way that someone can be blessed by it. So thank you, Mrs. Good. God bless you and may heaven shine upon you. Thank you.
And thank you.